Hello, everyone. This is live from the apocalypse, where we play tabletop role playing games to benefit nonprofits, aid organizations, and other charitable causes. We ask that if you like what you see here, rather than subscribing or giving us bits or any of that, Amazon corporate script, you take that money and you donate it directly to the organizations that we are fundraising for. This stream is raising money for the International Rescue Committee, which helps people affected by humanitarian crises. Founded at the call of Albert Einstein in 1933, the IRC is now at work in over 40 crisis affected countries, as well as communities throughout Europe and the Americas, including this one, these United States of A, um, because that's what being the richest country in the world is about, apparently. Anyway, if at any point you would like to donate, you can type !donate in the chat, and our bot will post the link, and you can make the McElroy brothers yell at us and interrupt whatever sort of serious scene we were having at the time. We also have Department of Channel Points. You can see down there, they've been rebranded. They used to be drugs. Now they're XP. Felt like that was maybe a better long-term strategy. You can use those to unlock our emotes without subscribing, as well as to interact with and influence the stream in other ways.
It's because we're a family channel, which you can tell by our merch.
Yeah.
We do a fair. Well, first off, I think it's funny that we have all these things that interrupt us because we interrupt ourselves a lot. But
That is
second
true.
off, we do a lot of wholesome. It's just that we're not good at keeping it only wholesome.
It balances. See, like
Yeah.
we have the wholesome, and then we have the horrible. Wholesome. No,
Wholesome.
wholesomable. I know. Yes,
Careful.
we're getting right in there.
The chat will make it something.
I know. God, chat always delivers for us.
Because they get time to type it out and be clever, and we just have to come off the cuff and be like the word mash thing. Hi, put it on a shirt.
Only some of us are trained improvisers.
It's true.
Wait, you got training?
I said some of us. I didn't say some of us in this stream.
I mean, I've been to a class.
So I suppose that is a good enough segue to get us into our introductions for everybody. Will, would you mind introducing yourself and start?
Sure, I can start it off. Hello, hi, my name is Will. I am one of the organizers and the GMs here at Live from the Apocalypse. I run and edit our Masks Actual Play podcast, Academy H, which is streaming on all podcast platforms. I run Class Reunion, our 5e homebrew game that is about high school students from Ohio who have been trapped in a fantasy world, which is now on a brief holiday hiatus, and we are going to be doing a side story called Class Reunion Winter Break, starting next Tuesday, 1 week from today. So come back and check that out. It's going to be like urban fantasy 5e, which I've never gotten to run before, but I've always wanted to, and I'm very excited about it, and it's going to be a good time. And I'm currently also playing in Dead in the Water, which is our current Wildcard Wednesday game. The final session of that will be next Wednesday, so come back and check that out as well. And yeah, I don't know, everything I do is related to this channel. So if you're not following this channel, or if you want to see more of what I do, follow the channel. Just keep up with Live from the Apocalypse. That's all of it. And I play Julian Rue, the ex-Team Rocket grunt turned chef, who has been going through a lot recently. And he's a good boy. There he is to my side. He's doing his best. And so am I. And that's me. I'm done.
Going through a lot of emotional damage.
Just a whole lot of everything, really.
We should do it.
How do you want to do this next?
Let's just start going and slide to the right.
Sounds good.
To the
It's
right.
me? Oh, great.
It is you.
Hi, I am Heather. You might know me as Brightwit. I handle our TikTok as well as my own, although I've been on a bit of a hiatus because I hyperfixated and went into cosplay mode, as we do. And yeah, I play Estelle East, who is an NPC faced old lady with the creepiest of companion Pokemon. Mr. Mime, my Dottler, and Haunter is not pictured to my side, but is also available in my retinue. Um, she's I call her Chaos Granny, so I feel like that's a good nutshell for her character. I will also be playing in the game that will be replacing our Wildcard Wednesday, so I think that's coming up end of September. It's called, I believe, Fetch Quest is what we decided on. A game where we play D&D, but as doggos. And that's gonna be fun.
Okay. Thanks, Heather. Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I play Billy Baker. I actually right now do not have an unsustainable amount of things on my plate. So really, all I have besides this is that I also wrote a Pokemon tabletop RPG, and we now have a Discord for that where people talk about all the other cool stuff they're going to make for it. So that's pretty cool, and you can find all that under my Twitter at Iron Echo Games or the game at ironechogames.itch.io. And yeah, I play Billy, who is a gym leader with a heart of gold, who is in a fight he should not be doing as well as he is right now so far, to be honest. But thanks to chat and the power of heart, he's doing pretty well so far, and we're going to hope that continues.
With chat, all things are possible. And that brings us to Brendan.
Oh, damn it, you put me on the big screen. I was hoping I could avoid this.
Absolutely not.
I get enough of this humiliation on Academy H. Hello, everyone. I'm the host. I am Brendan. I master games. I think my official title on the card below this stream is Architect of Befuddlement. I run this every other Tuesday. I also play Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, every other Sunday on Academy H, the superhero game that Will mentioned earlier, that is also recorded in podcast form. I also, a while back, ran a Monster of the Week game that involves several cast members here at LFTA that I think should be coming out in recorded podcast form very, very soon to coincide with this spookiest of seasons. Very excited for that. Besides that, I am also a professional game master. I do games good, and sometimes people pay me to do them good at them. So, if you would like me to do a good game at you, feel free to email me at creative.catacombs@gmail.com. And I think, at long last, that is enough yammering from the all of us. And I think we're about ready to get into it.
I'm excited for C3 to come out.
Yeah, there might be some other voices that you recognize in that game. Maybe.
Oh yeah? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, there might be a number of different voices that you recognize in that. But as much as I would love to talk about C3 for the rest of the stream, there is in fact another different game that I am here to run, and we will do that.
Ooh.
All right, guys, game's out. We're talking about the podcast now.
Yeah, you just want to go back to beating us up.
Sorry, Liz.
Via the dice.
I mean, as long as we stall, I can't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just say that Billy won, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Billy won. Surprise. All right. I'll be quiet now. Probably, maybe. I'm not there, so yes.
It is late in the afternoon outside of the Baker farm. The road has yet to be paved even with gravel. It's just a dirt track at this point. Back behind the farmhouse, you can see that the stable for the Mudsdales is still under construction. Susan Baker is coming in from directing the carpentry outside and starts to wash her hands off in the basin, as the house does not at this point have running water yet, when she's interrupted by a slamming screen door and a shout. Her young son, Billy, has just come home, and it looks as though he was in a fight. Fight that didn't particularly go well for him. Oh, hun, you okay?
God damn it.
Uh-oh. But the captions still show up.
Yeah, because the captions are a different source, technically.
Unexpectedly.
It's
Billy
tricky.
disappears.
It's tricky. Cannot hear you, Liz, but can see your captions still slightly. So you might reappear in a second, or you might just want to refresh.
In the meantime, about community college.
This is our sign from the universe.
No, it's fine. Hi, puppies. You don't need to fight over the squeaky ball, please.
Oh,
Yup.
indeed.
Oops. Yeah. It's okay.
Boy.
It's okay. If it wouldn't be Twitch if we didn't have some form.
It's true. We wouldn't be
Technical
streamers.
issue.
No one would take us seriously.
Exactly. It's, you know what? If you don't have at least a dozen problems in the week,
All right. Good.
Yep.
Yes.
I can see you.
All right.
So I think I'm okay. It just I'm fine. Don't worry about it, Mom.
No, Billy, talk to me. What's up? Are those kids up the road bullying you again?
I mean, it's fine. They just, I mean, I didn't want to do what they were doing anyway, so they just let me know, and that's fine. I'm gonna go play out on the farm.
Billy, I know this is hard for you. I know that you don't like fighting. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. You're a sweet boy. I love that about you. I don't know where you get it from, certainly not from me. But sometimes if you don't want to get hurt, or if you don't want other people to get hurt, sometimes you have to fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I can see the logic if like it was someone else involved, but I mean, right now it's just me. I can take it just fine. I don't have to hurt anybody else this way.
I know you want to end every fight by making them your friend, Billy. But you know what? And she sort of dusts you off. Here, at least go get cleaned up before you go outside again, okay?
Yeah, I'll go upstairs.
And Billy runs off down the hallway, a hallway which lengthens gradually changing from the wood of the family home to the rough concrete interior beneath the Esper Bay game corner, opening up into a large underground arena bathed in the harsh overhead lights. The air is full of the buzz of neon and the shouting, the baying of a raucous, angry crowd. A crowd that wants to see somebody, anybody, get hurt. In the middle of this, the chain link battleground has been overgrown with vines of ivy crawling up over the rusted links, a bloom of green, of life in this bleak, sterile place. In the center of this, on one end of the arena, Billy and his go-goat, having just won a hard-fought victory in the first round against Julien Roux, the head of the local Team Rocket affiliate, who stands suddenly resolute in a fighting stance behind her obstagoon. It has just moved fluidly into a stance mirroring hers. The air is thick. The round begins. All right. We want. Oh, I should probably bring up their stats. That would probably help.
Or not. Maybe they're just.
Bad
maybe
at
we just
everything.
say that. Yeah, maybe we just say that Billy wins.
Maybe we just say that Billy wins. Yeah, you know.
I have an
I
important
think you
question.
sent it to me, and they're just all D4s.
Oh, all right.
all
No,
of them.
yeah. No, it's all D4 splash.
Do we know how many inspirations the chat spammed Billy with last time?
I wrote it down.
I was going to say
7
yes.
left.
Yeah, I believe we recorded it at the end of last session.
Because
Yep.
I personally would hate for our lovely chat.
No, I was
to
not. I could not. I could not in me let the last of the drugs go to waste.
Yeah, you have to use them. You gotta you know you don't just leave them in a drawer somewhere for 30 years and then go home.
That's true. The drugs are gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Billy has all the drugs now.
Billy got, ironically, Billy, the one character who would never use them.
Good job, Billy.
Good job, Billy.
The
Wait, what
one
are they
place,
now?
the only place they'd be safe.
This with Billy.
What do we have now? If it's not
XP.
XP. Oh,
Yes.
we went. I get it. We went appropriate. Then our videos wouldn't get taken down from YouTube.
There are other ways to say that you sold out. It's fine.
I get it.
Listen, it certainly wasn't my idea. That's all I'll say.
I just remember saying we should probably make it cost more, but apparently that was the change. It's fine. It's fine. No.
I love drugs.
I have a prescription for mine, so I'm good.
Yeah, same.
Script
All right.
gang.
Script gang.
My amphetamines are illegal.
All right. So with that,
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and go first? You know what?
oh yeah, I appreciate letting me do that.
After
Yeah.
you.
That is
Yes.
that is very generous.
Are we rolling? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We did.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no.
It begins.
It's starting all over again, guys. Dearest of chat, be with us. That
Okay. Go ahead and pick your move.
Okay. It's a fresh fight. I think Billy would have Aster try and knock this Obstagoon out of its stance with the bulldoze again. That was a good way to start last fight. So that's 2d6. And I think on a crit, that would drop your initiative. So I'm going to use one of our little thingies.
Before you do, before you go ahead and spend that initiative, I will say the attack is blocked.
Mm.
So even if it crits, it wouldn't have the impact of delaying initiative.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Well,
yes, I would not feel right letting you spend the inspiration on an attack that I knew was going to do nothing. The bulldoze does not make contact, correct?
No, it doesn't. It shakes up the ground, but does not.
Cool.
Hit.
All right. Yep.
How nice to it.
I appreciate you not letting me waste my drugs.
Yeah. You could have just been like, too bad. Still gets blocked.
I mean, you do have 7 of them. I probably could have. It's fine, but chat would never forgive me. Go.
I mean, it depends on how much
stamps the ground, and this royal of concrete flows across the floor towards Obstagoon. But its stance is not broken. In fact, it shifts ever so slightly right at the moment of impact, so that it just sort of washes over it in a rain of asphalt, having fully absorbed the impact of the blow to no effect.
All right, Aster, we're gonna have to try hitting him a little more directly, I guess.
All right, we're gonna roll off again. All right, go ahead and pick your move.
Can you use Horn Leech? It's a D8 and a D6. Oof. Oh, but the D6 gets to reroll. Ooh.
Explodins.
So that is a 12, 15, 16.
Okay, and Horn Leech does make contact, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So unfortunately, this move is also blocked.
Even though I outrolled it?
Yep.
I feel like that's its thing. It's just blockety block, block, block.
Yeah, I was hoping it was a roll-off versus he needed to succeed thing.
No, not in this case, because he has to sacrifice his whole action to do it regardless.
That makes sense.
But Aster then instead goes in to try and find a hole in Obstagoon's stance to then make contact with its horn so that it can reach in with its leeching vines. And for a moment, you think that Aster succeeded. You see them both stagger back from the impact of Aster's rush. But then, abruptly, Aster breaks away from the clinch and kind of stumbles a little bit as it does. And you realize that similarly to before, the Obstagoon shifted its stance just slightly as Aster went in to attack, and not only blocked the attack, but pivoted itself so that Aster made direct contact against Obstagoon's elbow, which seems to have rung Aster's bell. Aster's defense takes a -2.
So, like, his toughness?
Yeah.
Oof, okay. Huh. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I guess we're gonna have to try and break up his stance.
Right. Oh, whoops. No, that's not right. Obstagoon uses this opportunity, exploits this momentary lapse in Aster's focus to lower itself and abruptly go low because it's so much taller on its hind legs than Aster is. Aster reflexively goes to try and block low, block high, I should say, and the Obstagoon goes low, coming up with a cross-shaped slash underneath Aster that strikes for 1 wound. And Aster is seemingly staggering even more after this attack. And you notice that the Obstagoon's claws appear to have been coated in some kind of venom. And Aster is poisoned.
Oof.
Julianne regards you from the other side of the arena, just sort of still in her fighting stance, bobbing lightly, shuffling side to side in movements that are similarly mirrored by the Obstagoon. You got a lot of heart, kid. But eventually it's time to face facts. We're here to fight. And you're not a fighter.
I mean, maybe not by nature, but I got more Pokemon left than you do at this point. Aster, it's broken up that weird stance it had. Let's give it a good hit. And Aster's going to try and do Horn Leech now that it's not all countering. That is a 6. I am going to try and use one of those at this point to get the heal. So let's throw in a d4. Not quite enough, but an 8 should still at least hit.
All right, that's a hit for Horn Leech.
Yes.
All right, let's grab how that looks.
Yeah, I think it, like, this slash kind of lifts and knocks Aster up, and as Billy's kind of like pushing back, Aster kind of stands up and does a very like goat like just kind of shake its head. And there's just for a relatively friendly, protective Pokemon for the most part, there's a little bit of that like more traditional to the species goat anger, I think, in Aster's eyes, as it just goes charging forward and slams into the Obstagoon's chest. And it's not enough to get the vines in to absorb, but it's just like a hard slam in the chest before it kind of bounces back and like shakes its head a little bit. Still kind of like, I think when it lands, it's still a little wobbly on its feet from like the poison, but it's trying to shake it off.
I will not sing Taylor Swift.
It's
fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I can refrain. It's fine. Chad, sing Taylor Swift for me.
All right, cool. And then at the end of your turn, Aster's toughness is reduced by 1.
Yeah. In addition to the 2 from earlier, right?
Yes, although I'm going to count the poison against their actual toughness as opposed to like their like effective toughness from the defense loss. So Aster still has 4 points to go through until Aster faints. It's just that the Obstagoon is functionally hitting as though Aster had 2 less.
Okay. And in that mindset, the boost I get from being in grassy terrain probably also doesn't count towards the poison reduction, right? In a similar vein. So
what did we determine the grassy terrain bonus was?
It's a +1 to toughness whenever he's fighting in grassy terrain.
Okay. So, I would we'll give Aster a +1 toughness functionally that the poison has to get through.
Okay. So then that drops him down to a 4, but it's an effective 2.
All right, next round. All right.
What's Julian doing right now? Watching all this go down.
I think he was pretty proud of Julian's one-liner. His comeback. Did I say Julian was pretty proud of Julian's
Billy.
comeback?
Yeah.
Okay, I meant Billy. He's pretty proud of Billy's comeback. Yeah, he's proud of himself.
He's proud of himself, and therethrough Billy.
He knows where that came from. Like, let's be real. That's not Billy. That's Julian influence bleeding through.
Absolutely.
How nail bitey is it?
It doesn't seem right.
That seems like cheating. No, like, I mean, so does the chat sometimes when the chat's just like, "Don't hurt Billy. Here's 7 things of rerolls.
7 drugs.
7 millions. I don't even know how much that was. It's probably a lot.
Yep. The Obstagoon once again sort of crouches down in a move that Julien mimics, and they're almost in kind of a runner's lunge, at which point the Obstagoon springs forward, seemingly charging at Aster, only to veer off at the last moment, using its leg claws to climb up, to run up the side of the arena, climbing on the links and the vines, to leap, backflipping off of the top of the fence and landing on Aster in a powerful takedown.
No.
For 3 wounds. I'm sorry. 3, because it does a base 2 with recoil, and it critted.
Does that include like the toughness bonus you're getting, or it's like you?
Yeah, that would still, the toughness is just to be hit.
Okay.
So if I were taken 1, 3 would traditionally knock me out, right?
Can we force a reroll?
I think
we do have 2 luck points. That's why I'm
there is
asking.
luck.
You do. Yeah.
But like,
Use them.
I'm right in that math, right? If
Yes.
normally, yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah, I would like to use a luck point because 3 in 1 hit is dumb. I do not
Use
like
all
it.
of 'em.
I don't like it. I don't want it.
That's what they're there for.
And I think I kind of would like to flow it into his next move because Asher's going to try and use Synthesis anyway.
Okay.
And I think what Billy's going to call out as like, I think the hit goes off and like it should drop Aster, and you just kind of see the legs like splay out in like pure goat stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy just shouts out to him while kind of looking at him and looking at Julian. Aster, you can't quit yet. Bullies always want you to give up, but you have to stay in there because they want you to quit because they're scared what will happen if you don't. So you just have to hold on a little bit longer, buddy. He's gonna try and heal up with Synthesis, and I would like to argue for heart.
Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense.
Healing with the heart.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And then a 6. Oh god.
So when I did like several crits in a row.
It's a shame this wasn't a damaging move.
Yeah.
I have an argument to be made. Hold on. 16, 20, 26, 32, 38, 41.
Jeez.
I'm listening.
I want to fix some stuff. Like poison, maybe some wounds, like I want some reset ground would be my
you know what?
base
You
before
you were one wound down before. That's obviously gone. Yeah, no, that is an absolutely valid argument to wipe out poison as well.
Statistically improbable.
Yeah. Can we shake off the bonk on the head from the counter?
Yeah,
earlier?
you know what? Sure. With a 40 crit on the Synthesis, reset those stat changes too.
Perfect. Yeah, and again, just Aster has the most stubborn goat grin. And actually, I think there's kind of like, as they've been doing their like stance mirroring, both Billy and Aster have this same stubborn kind of hunched Billy goat, like placed feet, we aren't going anywhere look after all of that.
Yeah, there was initially a cry from the crowd when the Obstagoon makes impact, and you can see out in the crowd the number of betting slips changing hands as they think that this round is over. And then suddenly you hear someone from the crowd, like someone's like excitedly pointing as the Obstagoon gets up, staggering a little from the recoil it inflicted on itself with the takedown, and is walking away without looking at its handiwork, and stops to look back over its shoulder at Aster getting to their feet, seemingly unharmed, seemingly more clear-eyed than ever before, and betting slips start furiously changing hands back the other direction. And
just like, it's fine. I got this.
And there's even a little bit of a little chant in the crowd that it's not a lot, but there's a few guys that are out there that are trying to get something going. Go, goat, go, goat, go, goat, go, goat.
What's a goat?
It's really called a go goat. So.
Oh, okay.
Go, goat, go, goat, go, goat. And and Julianne looks a little miffed. The mask of confidence slips a little bit.
Julian very passively smirking at Julianne, just like holds up a fist and mouths "Go goat" at her from across the room.
All right, and we're on to the next round.
Is she still rolling at a negative, or was that just for the first round when you psyched her out?
Oh,
I don't. So I was. So that was. Sorry. He was at a -2 before. I was going to lower it to a -1.
Recovery.
Now that she has started taking it more seriously.
Gotcha.
I don't think I was factoring that in the previous rolls, though. I don't think it would have made the difference in any initiative or hit rolls.
No. I just remember Julian
That is
basically
still. But
like,
thank you for reminding me, because I did have a
attacking
thing
her.
for what I was gonna do with that. Yeah. So she is rolling at a -1 as opposed to a -2, which she was before.
Nice.
yeah, I think your 14 would have still successfully.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably would still hit. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's probably fine.
It's a cute speech, kid. But down here, at a certain point, you have to put your money where your mouth is.
I mean, you can say that all you want. You'd probably land a lot better if you were winning.
So
Oh,
Billy, incidentally, what is your toughness?
My toughness is a 4.
Cool. The Obstagoon leaps back into combat with Aster, and they are ducking and weaving side to side, sort of jabbing at one another, headbutting and clawing, until they make their way back towards the rear of the arena. And just when it seems like Aster is cornered, the Obstagoon throws a high, wild chop that Aster easily dives out of the way of. But you are up clinging onto the chain links to see into the arena, giving Aster encouragement. And that chop strikes you, and you are tossed back, having taken 1 wound. And also, you find that where it has struck you in the throat, this chop, you cannot speak.
question. What is the official Pokemon rules about when something like that happens? Because we got her to agree to official Pokemon rules.
I mean, the Obstagoon clearly threw the attack at the Go-Goat.
Well, that doesn't mean like in soccer, like if you didn't really mean to hit someone as hard, like doesn't matter, you still did it, then we're gonna flag you. So
I also
what's the penalty? Does that mean that Pokemon has to automatically be put away because it hit the trainers? What's the thing, Brendan? What's the thing?
Well, that depends on if you think that you can convince Julienne to abide by that. She did agree that it would be league rules. She said that with her words.
With her
I
mouth words.
also
What does that
intimated
mean, though?
I also intimated that if she didn't play by the rules, I would do a terrorism.
That's true.
Well, I suppose that depends on how Julian has interpreted these events.
I'm not there. I asked this as a
Yeah.
concerned citizen in the crowd.
Okay. I have a thought
Mhm.
before we go
Mhm.
literally scorched earth. And I think Julian is going to leap whatever barrier or obstacle he has to get to the cage where Billy is, and is gonna he's gonna hook his fingers through the fence and lean in, and he's gonna call out to Billy, and he's gonna say, he's gonna try to get Billy's attention. He's gonna say, Billy, And when Billy looks over, he's going to sort of point across the arena towards his sister, and he's going to say, you see what she's doing? You see the way she's moving, the way they're in sync with each other. But Billy, you don't need to do any of that. And you don't need to talk. You don't need to call out attacks.
Psychic gym bitches.
Yeah, Billy, you've been training for this with the Esper, right? You're the Esper Bay gym leader. Show her what that means.
And yeah, I think Billy's thumbs up turns around, and yeah. So on that note, can I then use? I mean, it's the same roles, but basically substituting aura for tactics.
Yeah, that'd be fine, I think.
As
What
he's
is your aura
basically
dice currently?
It's a D6. It's the same as my
D6.
tactics.
Okay.
So,
I
but it's
will
using that.
I will in this case for right now give you a -1 just because you're not used to having to rely on this so thoroughly.
I mean, that makes sense because I'm wounded anyway, which is like usually attributed to a penalty. So I think that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you take win penalties, right? Yeah, because you're human.
Yeah.
We don't usually do the fighting ourselves.
Right.
Just the Pokemon.
Yeah, I think Lee just gives a thumbs up, kind of still grabs through a little bit because it hurts, but kind of shakes it off and is going to turn around and just kind of nod at Aster and try and using that kind of link between them, tell Aster to hit it with a horn leech. Roll for that. That's a 6.
Okay. Yep. Cool. And yeah, even with the -1, that's a 5, so that will succeed in hitting the Obstagoon.
So yeah, I think Billy and Aster just kind of sync up, and Aster already looks a little bit angry from the fact that the wild shot hit Billy, and so it's just gonna plant its feet, charge again, and just slam straight into the Obstagoon, and then like lift its horns to like send it sliding back a couple of feet, kind of off its balance.
Mhm. You see the Obstagoon stagger back and look back to Julienne for guidance. And Julienne makes a motion with her hands. And the Obstagoon kind of hesitates a moment. For Julienne narrows her eyes and smacks her hand against the chain link of the fence. The Obstagoon sort of turns around and once again looks resolute, though uncertain. And so we're rolling off, yeah? Or no, wait, no, yeah, because that's the beginning of the new rounds. We're rolling off.
Am I gonna have to rescue this Obstagoon?
That is a 0 for initiative with the -1.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Just barely.
Yeah. As the Obstagoon runs in and throws its full weight into a body check against Aster, slamming them both into a pile tangled up in the rusted chain link and the ivy vines that have overgrown it. Aster staggers out of the clinch, having taken 2 wounds from takedown. And the Obstagoon just sort of slides down, fainted. For Julienne then pulls out a Pokeball and returns it.
So we won.
No, Julian still has 1 more Pokemon.
Yep.
Did there's not really an observation roll, is there? Like I was gonna say, did that achieve something other than the 2 wounds? Was there like anything left behind or a poisoning?
That's a valid thing. Could I roll tactics to try to figure out? I mean, my assumption is that she just wanted to get to her last Pokemon faster, but I don't know.
I think she wanted to just do more damage, and so she was telling him to do a move that would knock himself out to essentially just for the desperate move of doing more damage.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But
it's just sort of
yes, no tactics. Would you?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I got 1 success.
1 success. Honestly, this does kind of smack you of desperation.
Okay.
A bit. You understand the basic calculus of it. You're pretty sure that it was mostly about trying to maximize damage, just because Go-Goat has now used synthesis twice to great effect, and so she is trying to end that particular matchup. Was that the ultimate best use? Hard to say, but it definitely smacks of desperation. You think that in the fact that Go-Goat has had two miraculous turnarounds at this point, and assuming, not saying it was, assuming that attack on Billy was intentional, it seemingly has not had quite the effect that she intended.
Suck it.
Yeah, truly. Suck it.
And so takes out her last Pokeball and looses it into the ring, from which soars like a large black shadow, the shape of her haunch crow.
Okay. And it's one of these. Hold on.
One of these?
Not sure which one. When her Obstagoon fainted, like, Billy looked very pointedly at that, and it looks, in an expression that doesn't cross Billy's face a whole lot, looks angry, like noticeably like angry at that particular like choice, and it's kind of glaring at her. And I think as she's sending out her Pokemon, there's like a kind of like tapping, tugging on Billy's leg, and he looks down and sees like Shiloh there, and just kind of nods, and then looks back out at Aster, who, while having recovered a lot, has been fighting through a hell of a fight for like 2
Aster's health track has been going like this the whole time.
And I think Billy just kind of looks pointedly out at Aster, and Aster like kind of turns his head around and kind of turns his head and then starts trotting back towards like Billy's side. Because Billy's basically is going to switch.
What's the internal dialogue like? What's Billy saying to them? Because like you're communicating, right?
Yeah, I think it's more of an emotional versus like verbal, but it's very much like Shiloh could pick up on Billy's like frustration with this whole situation and also concern for how long Aster has just been battling. And
Mhm.
so there was very much a message from like Shiloh to Billy of like, I'm ready, like I can do this, like he's been doing enough. And Billy agreed and accepted that and
Gigantomatch.
What?
huge throw. And then I think the same thing was kind of to Aster of like you've done enough, but it's time for someone else to like take a shot. Like thank you, but like
Yeah.
you've done enough. Like come take a break.
Do you think Billy was mostly mad about the way she treated the Pokemon, or do you think it was just the way she's been acting in general?
No, it's specifically doing that to our Pokemon. Like very
Yeah.
specifically that. Like the cheap shot is just like in character, and also Billy's dealt with bullies his whole life. Like that's not exceptional. It's the doing that to like when
I
you're
think
someone whose only friends have been your Pokemon and you're doing that to your friend who's your Pokemon, that's like a
I
line.
think I think there is something like where it's like it's one thing for a Pokemon to decide it wants to fight until it collapse. It's another
Mhm.
thing for you to order it to fight to collapse.
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
especially when it
what?
didn't want to and
Yeah,
like was
it didn't want to
explicitly
do that.
commanded to.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I think for Billy, that's like a point too. Like I had already kind of figured even before that happened that like Aster would probably retire before being knocked out.
Yeah.
Like because that's kind
Mhm.
of again another point of this is like they aren't hopefully fighting to the last leg. It is trying to also prove a point about like letting them come back before that point. So
Yeah. You don't treat your Pokemon as commodities. And they're not
uh,
going back to their Pokeball. They're going back to stand beside Billy, you know.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, who puts their Pokemon in Pokeballs? It's weird.
Weirdos.
Monsters.
Julian.
Absolute monsters.
All
Yeah.
right, so it's now the Honchcrow versus the Ralts.
So I think before Ralts goes in, um, and did you have a scene you wanted to do in mind?
So are you going to have that happen straight away?
I was thinking that. I think Billy and Ralts are going to have a moment before he goes. I basically right as Aster's trying back. I think Billy was going to turn to Ralts, kind of bend down, and like basically rest their head, like their foreheads against each other, kind of like communicating since they can't. Right before this battle, and then yeah, I think Billy was going to start to like kind of nod in response to like something he's getting from Shiloh and start to pull out the stone that he
Mm.
grabbed from his room earlier.
As Billy's forehead is pressed against Ralt's, a voice calls out from behind him. Hey, champ. And Billy looks behind him, and it is his dad. They're standing on the gravel road outside of the Baker family farm. Billy's bags are packed. Has his Pokemon beside him with their own little backpacks, both because it's adorable and also because Billy is always prepared. And sometimes Pokemon got to pull their weight, you know. You leaving for the city already?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think it's time to head in.
All right, I was hoping I could at least get lunch with you before you left, but you know, you got to do your thing, I suppose. I guess I just hate to see you leave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's time to be on my way. I mean, you're always traveling too.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose I'm not one to talk. I guess I just always kind of liked, knowing, you know, you and your mom are back here. You know, it gives me.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it,
Oh, thank you guys so
baby.
much for the donation.
Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one
Thanks
for the big boy.
donation.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Will's
it.
mom.
So does Billy.
It's true. We went back up to 2 now.
Yeah, I know. You know, I just, you know, knowing your mom are here, you know, it's like an anchor for me when I'm out there. But, you know, you can't always be that for me, your own person. And I, you know, I like going out on these trips by myself because I don't know, it feels like I'm looking for something. I don't know what, but I feel like if I keep looking for it long enough, eventually I'll figure it out. And I don't know, maybe that's what you got to do too. I don't know. I don't know why I'm rambling on like this. I don't know. It's a lot of emotions right now. I've never been good at keeping all that under wraps like your mom. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stalling. Stalling because I don't want you to go. But I just want you to. It's going to be tough out there. I mean, I know you know that. I know you know that the world isn't as good as you wish it was. I've seen enough of it to know that. But I just want you to know that you can do it. You can face it your own way. You can face it on your own terms. I know, you know, I know your mom's response to everything is to take it head on. She's a very direct woman. It's part of why I love her. You have your own way. And it's not always a straight line. But it will get there. You will get there. I know that. But if you ever need a break, if you ever need to find your way back home again, if you need your own anchor, think of this. And he reaches into his pocket. I found this up in the mountains. Used to be, you know, a whole vein of stones like that out in these parts. Not too many of them anymore. This is a beaut, though. I mean, you know me. I could, you know, prattle on about geology all day. I won't bore you with all the details, but I don't know. It's a nice rock. I like the rock. I thought maybe it's my gift to you, son, is this rock. Please take it. And, you know, remember that who you are matters.
I think Billy just starts to tear up, and he just runs and grabs his dad in a big hug. He says, "Thank you for showing me that there's other ways to deal with a hard world than just becoming hard yourself."
I love you, Billy. Stay safe out there, okay?
Love you too, Dad. I will be.
All I can picture is Billy's dad, like Billy saying that, and Billy's dad like doing the like choked up like cry eyes, just like be safe, Billy. Like just
And as Billy turns to go, he leans and kneels down and touches his forehead to Shiloh's, and you are back in the cage.
And I think Billy pulls his hat away and kind of turns his head in a like "you sure" gesture to Shiloh. Shiloh nods. Billy goes okay, and he touches the stone to Shiloh's head. Shiloh begins to glow and stretch and shift, and where Shiloh was standing as a result, now there is a significantly taller Gallade. Uh, and I think Shiloh's as the new Gallade form looks up at Billy with a much more determined like look in its eye. Looks over at Aster, who's trotted back, a little worse for wear, but still holding on, and then turns to look at uh, Julianne and the Haunch Crow, and then the Glade, just using teleport, disappears from next to Billy and reappears in the middle of the arena, standing there looking at the Haunch Crow.
Yeah, at this point, there is an audible gasp from the crowd. They do not frequently see mid-battle evolutions. And you can also see that there is a frantic redistribution of bets going on at the same time.
Can Julian get everybody? Can Julian get everybody in the crowd chanting Baker, or at least try to?
I would, yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll of heart for Julian.
Five.
All right. You get a little bit, the ones who were chanting Go Goat before, seems like they were already kind of looking for something else since Aster retired from the field. They seem like they were already kind of looking for a new thing to go off. They sort of kind of started trying to get Gallade going, but it doesn't really quite, that L in the middle kind of doesn't really lend itself well as the hard consonant does. But eventually, yeah, they're like, Baker, Baker, Baker. It's not the majority of the crowd, but there's enough that you can clearly hear them. And Julianne can hear them too.
can I ask for a 10-minute
Good.
break?
Can you what? Sorry? A
Can
10-minute
I
break?
ask for a 10-minute break? This dog is
Sure.
about to go postal on me.
Okay. Yes. That sounds good. Sounds like a good place to take a break.
Does, yeah, we've got an evolution and things are going fine and we're gonna win.
Nothing could go. Wait,
right.
The ball's rolling up. It's fine.
Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah,
We'll be
absolutely.
back in 10 minutes, everybody. Don't go away.
And we're back. And I guess we're going to dive back in, assuming that Will is done committing crimes against language.
In history.
I asked an honest question.
No.
Did you?
Did you?
I made an honest statement.
You. Okay.
Anyway, Pokemon battles.
Yeah, not regular battels in which I throw things at you until you say that region of France correctly.
I'm just gonna redeem fisticuffs on principle.
Do it. I'll fight everyone for any reason. Let's go.
All right. Well, we're at the top of the round.
Roll some tactics or aura. Three.
Oh.
Huh, I'll take it. And Billy still can't talk, so I think he's just going to look at Shiloh very confidently, and Shiloh's going to turn, look towards this Haunch Crow, and start dashing towards it really quickly, and he's going to try and do close combat. Which Haunch Crow is dark flying, right?
Dark flying, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a wash on the
Yeah.
+2, -2. I like that I have this Pokemon with all these great moves to like hit dark types, and both of them are resisted by flying, bug and fighting. I didn't realize dark flying until this moment was actually a pretty good type combo. 2d6. That's a 7. I would like to add one of the guidances to go to try and get the crit. Yee. Uh-oh. 7, 11, 15, 17, -1 because of the wound, so 16. So not quite a double crit, but 1 crit.
Cool.
Crit and a half.
Which with close combat, as we discussed, means that it does take the 1 wound, and then its toughness drops by 1.
Okay, so.
It's 2 can play at that game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think Galade's just going to, assuming the Haunch Crow is flying, it's just going to go running, and then actually, let's just go full Dragon Ball Z with it as teleport, right?
Do it.
Just teleport up to where the Haunch Crow's flying and slam into it with one of its arms, knocking it back towards the ground.
Oof.
Well, is that biscotti? No. Is it ramen? What tasty noodles are you eating?
They're rice noodles.
Is it like peanut noodles?
Gochujang.
All right. So that is a 12. As the Haunch Crow continues to engage in this aerial battle with Galade, with Shiloh, with new branding, zipping back and forth, trying to strike at Galade in midair, only for Galade to teleport away, and for Haunch Crow to abruptly change course. And in the course of this, it almost starts to resemble a dog fight. And
just now, it starts to resemble that, not any of the other
different type of dog fight.
different type of sorry, an aerial in the context of fighter jet warfare. Sorry, channeling my inner boomer there a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the comparative technical specifications of the Thunderbolt versus the Messerschmitt? Because we can do that. That can be the rest of this stream if you want it to be.
I mean, I won't.
I like how you defaulted to Joker voice.
That was supposed to be trying to just be sort of like my like nasal nerdy voice, but I guess it came off. I mean, I don't know. I can't not sound sinister. I have long since accepted this.
It's very Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, it's true. The like upward nasalum.
But Haunch Crow pulls into a very tight turn, catching the air, and the stale air of the arena is stirred by this. Billy, even you can feel you're starting to be buffeted by gusts from this fight as Haunch Crow launches into this daring acrobatic aerial maneuver. Its broad wings covering the lights and creating this kind of strobing effect. It's an insane move. It would have to be an absurdly brave bird to even attempt such a thing. But it does finally succeed in catching Gallade off guard as Hunchcrow runs directly into Gallade from behind and plows them both into the floor of the arena for 3 wounds.
All right.
And it's a new round.
Does the Hunchcrow look a little bit also ruffled after that particular?
Yes. Hunchcrow walks away from the crash landing. And anyone you walk away from, right? But it does stagger a little bit as it does so.
It was a 2.
Okay. Okay, I've got a rolling the dice message, thinking real hard about it. Just thinking very hard about it. Okay,
We'll
all
get
right.
there.
Yeah. This. Yes. Oh, wow.
That's gonna be a no.
Well, okay. All right. Well, the Hunchcrow goes and staggers back over to near Julienne's cage and starts picking bits of concrete and insulation and vines out of its plumage. And it looks as though it has sort of regained its composure, but its roost was less restful than perhaps it would have liked to have been.
And before I decide on this next move, I believe one of the options we had listed for a luck point was changing effectiveness, like allowing
It was,
things that
I
were
think, it was
resistant.
changing an immunity to resistance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to do that for this next attack for
Okay.
psychic. And I think Shiloh is going to kind of lock in. That blow hit and hurt. So Shiloh is very much like, this needs to probably be resolved rather quickly, and is going to go for a psycho cut. And is going to start charging towards the Hunchcrow. It's a 10 and a D10 and a D6. And then I'm going to use some guidances because Psycho Cut crits at a lower rate.
Yes. So yeah. So it's taken a -2 for the resistance, but it does crit on a 9.
Yeah. So that would drop it down 10 back to 8. That would bump it up to 10. It was really. How many of those do we have left? That would be.
I don't have a counter for those.
I don't worry, I do. That one puts us down at 4. I think I'm actually going to use a couple more on this because I think he's really trying to go with this as a big hit and push for that 18 to get a double crit. So that's a 13, 16, okay, 19. But we have only one of those left. But that is enough to be because Psycho Cut crits on a 9, which would be a double crit on an 18. That's enough for a triple crit with the 9 or a double crit with the 19.
Dang.
So 3 wounds to the Honchkrow.
Oh, right.
And how this looks from from Glade's perspective, I imagine it being like it's basically dashing up and it swings, and it's one of those moments where the Honchkrow like freaks out, flaps back, and the blade crosses right in front of its face, and it seems to have dodged out of the way as it like lands back on its feet, and then the psychic energy slams into it as its vision kind of blurs and it's hit with all these wounds after it's landed.
Indeed. And the just to narrate this out a little bit more, the Honchkrow staggers and it goes to counterattack with one of its wings, bringing up and this arc of darkness, a night slash with it, only to be parried by one of Galade's psycho cutters. And they continue desperately fencing like this, these arcs of dark energy versus Galade's psychic energy clashing in midair. The Honchkrow desperately trying to get airborne again to regain the high ground, but unable to get through Galade's guard before finally they each meet once more in the middle, and they stand to either side of each other, and there is a long pause as the audience holds its breath, waiting to see which one of them is going to fall. And at last, it is the Honchkrow that slumps over. Julienne's eyes wide. And yeah, there is a long moment of silence as people kind of like let this sink in a little bit before
Julian.
before a good portion of the audience suddenly starts to erupt.
Yeah, Julian would be the first to break the silence by cheering. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
now more people are joining in with the Baker, 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 Baker.
I think Billy just cheers. He can't still can't make any noise, so it's just a silent but like arms lifted cheer. And Shiloh just turns and teleports back up to the stage, like the stands where Billy is, and then Ling Ling pops out and is like shaking back and forth, trying to heal up Aster and Shiloh as Billy just kind of hugs his Pokemon.
And Estelle, was there a thing that you were wanting to do?
I do have some notes about storms that Estelle would like to stir. Hold on one second. Excuse my language too. Apologies. Okay, so I have the connected thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't often use that, but I would like to do so. So I think one of the things that you see as you and like we can roll for this if you want me to, or we can just call it, is that well, so it's been established that Estelle has her Pokemon that she had saved from here, but that she had also saved other Pokemon and sort of adopted them out. I think when she hangs up that phone, she starts making calls. And she starts making calls to all of the individuals who had adopted out the Pokemon who had said, when you bring them down, let us know. And she goes and she contacts them. She contacts the people that had helped her get the Pokemon out. And then she takes all this information that she had. And I think the reason that Estelle hasn't brought this to the police anymore, or maybe that they have, but they basically said, we can't do anything unless we have a witness, or we can't do anything in period. So I think this time, instead of bringing it to the police, people she contacts are the ones responsible for taxes. Because, there's a lot of stuff that people will overlook, but not so much the money, historically, when it comes to corruption. So I think she contacts those groups of people. Her family, obviously, the people who assist her with getting the Pokemon out. And then she submits the information she has and the proof she has to whatever the local or governmental tax authority is.
Okay, so what was sort of like the chain of events that you kind of saw going down here?
Yeah, what I see going down is her going, okay, they're threatening my kids. And her trying to offer them an out, but realizing that the sister just wants to hurt Julian. This isn't about, this is now about hurting each other. It's not about the money, it's not about the Pokeballs, it's not about anything like that. It is about hurting Julian. And I don't think Estelle is going to stand for that. Because, Estelle and her sisters have been protecting Julian pretty much since he had that accident with Estelle's husband, Ephraim.
Oh, did we lose everybody?
No, audio's coming through. It's just been doing this recently when I switch scenes.
Oh, fun.
But people can hear you.
Oh, nice.
Should we restart or?
No, it's an easy fix.
Oh, okay. So I think Estelle realizes that the point is to hurt Julian, and she was willing to give money. She's willing to, soothe pride, and she's willing to do all those things because at the end of the day, what's important is making sure the Pokemon and the kids are okay. But she decides to go full force and just bring out all the stops. Because they basically said, well, there's nothing you can do to protect these kids. And she went, it's funny you think that, but that's not actually true. So yeah, if you want me to do some rolls, we can do that. But that is what I'm going for, is to basically have, whether it's the lights come up, but if she goes after Billy or tries to do anything, Estelle is there and ready to handle it, because she's not going to pull punches if you're coming after her kids.
Well, I mean, at this point, if there is something that you want to do and have happen, this is a good time to pull the trigger on it.
Okay. Then yeah, I think while this was all going down and while you guys were doing your little training montage, because Estelle hasn't been with the boys since Julian left the farm and Billy ran after. So I think she, picked up the phone, tried to, pay this off, couldn't do any of that, and then went, okay. And I think what she's doing is, as the match starts, she's waiting at the ferry. And off the ferry steps an investigator from a higher government level, somebody that they haven't paid off or they can't pay off or who's been trying to nail them. And this tiny little woman walks up to him and greets him, and they head off to go explore this stuff. And as the battle's going, she's showing him uh the evidence and going through what they have, and he's talking to these people who have these Pokemon and who helped her with all this. And
Hear me out.
yeah.
I know we've been saying he, but just hear me out.
Okay.
Agent Jenny.
Agent Jenny. Yes. This is
Agent
correct.
Jenny. Yes.
Agent Jenny.
Special Agent Jenny.
Special Agent Jenny, who, of course, and I guess you can decide, like, we can play that out if you want, or you can just say that, yeah, they call and waiting outside, or as the lights come up, in busts.
Yeah, it's around the time there is a frantic, sort of scrambling, as also as having tipped the odds. There is a run on the house of people losing money, trying to get out before they lose money, people trying to collect on the bets that they did place, when then in the midst of this chaos, adding to the rigmarole, the doors bust in and a large number of identically dressed police officers pour in. Special Agent Jenny, distinguishable by her very crisp suit at the front, flashes her badge and just says, "This is a raid," and it is mayhem as this is going down. And in the midst of this this chaos, as Estelle also sort of slips in behind the wall of Jenny's, just sort of ducking between bodies as this unfolds. Julian, you look over from where you are busy sort of attending to Billy, and you see that the cage where Julianne was is empty.
I was going to say, if I can see her or any sign of where she went, I'm going to run after her. I'm going to try to chase her down.
Okay. I won't make you roll for it. You have a reasonably good idea of at least the first place that she would be stopping, which would be her office.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you see the door is hanging open. And it looks like Julianne is inside, having pulled a bookcase open to reveal a safe that she is currently twisting the combination to.
So, where to?
Away from here, apparently. You weren't kidding. You really did burn it all down.
It didn't have to be this way.
No, I guess it didn't.
I'm sorry, for what it's worth. A lot of what you said hit a little too close to home.
It was supposed to. But maybe the reason that it did was because some of what you said also hit a little close to home. As you were having this conversation, she opens the safe and starts pulling out basically a go bag.
Mm-hmm. Is that where the champion balls are?
Yeah, I've got a few in here. There's a few in storage. They're in a crate. It's pretty nondescript. People aren't supposed to be able to find it, but it's number 237. Just look for crate 237. You'll find them, and they're
Thank
all
you.
yours. They're all yours now.
You're a lot of things, but I've never known you to go back on your word.
Just shows you really don't know me at all, do you?
Shrugs. Maybe. Maybe I know you better than anyone else.
She slings the bag over her shoulder, takes off her suit jacket, throws it over the back of the overstuffed chair sloppily, puts on a nondescript hoodie. I I wish that I could have walked away like you did. But I guess at the end of the day, all I could do was run. And with that, she starts to speed walk past you out of the room. Will you be
Yeah,
stopping
Julian
her?
will, when she says that, Julian is going to step into the room and start walking towards the safe to get the champion balls. And as he does so, he's going to say, not looking at her directly, it's a shame you were already gone when I got here. Didn't even get a chance to say goodbye.
Yeah, that that would have been nice, wouldn't it? And she is gone.
Can I do a thing
Yeah.
in the hallway as she rounds the corner towards the hidden exit we actually discussed. Actually, it's funny because this matches up with our last thing. Um, I think out of the darkness comes a fiery punch from Mr. Mime.
Mm.
Do you want me to roll for it?
Sure.
Yeah. Is it okay if I use heart for this?
Well, so is Estelle
Estelle
telling
is
Mr.
there.
Mime what to do, or
Yep.
is Mr. Mime okay? All right,
Estelle and Mr. Mime were waiting around the corner.
okay, all right. Go on hard, Granny. I see.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Estelle's gonna do a murder.
The way I see this is like, and mind you, like that's Mr. Mime's like weakest thing. Most of that was Estelle. um what I picture is just like her rounding the corner and like pulling up her little hoodie and everything, and then out of the gloom, just that fire punch from Mr. Mime, and just knocked flat for a second. And then Estelle walks into the light. And she bends down and she takes her by the hand the way she used to when she first asked this kid, which of these Pokeballs, which of these Pokemon has been here the longest? And she tried to reach out for the kindness in this kid. And she takes her hand. Julianne is having a very bad day. Uh, and she says, now, Julian wants you to get out of here. So I'm going to let you walk out of here. But I want you to remember that if you ever come back to this town or try to hurt him again, We're going to be waiting for you. And it might not be me. But well, I do have quite a lot of family. And Julian is part of our family now. And she just sort of pats her on the hand, watching her smashed up face. And then she and Mr. Mime walk away around the corner. Back out to the chaos to go check on Billy. Estelle got very mad when she offered an actual fortune to a Team Rocket member to just leave her boy alone. And they went, no, I'm going to hurt him. And she went, okay, you chose violence. But these are my boys. No. Did she say anything, or is she just like,
well, as you are walking away, she is wiping her face off. Oh, yeah, he's part of your family now. Yeah. Like the Espers haven't been standing on my neck from the day I was born. You know what? You can have him. You can have this whole fucking town. You and your whole fucking family. And she staggers away.
I think Mr. Mime looks like he's gonna go back for another hit for a second, and then Estelle just grabs his hand and like they keep walking back. Sure, let's excuse all the things we did to Pokemon. Who would like your occasion? Four kids will like their occasion.
Oh boy.
Yeah. How is Billy doing? Because Estelle did let the Jennies know what was going on as like a diversion to allow the raid. So
at this point, back in the main area, you see that they did bring a Joy with them. A combat issue Nurse Joy, complete with
combat issue Nurse Joy.
A tactical Nurse Joy, complete with tactical Chansey.
Forensic specialist Joy.
Yeah,
that is hot. I'm not gonna lie. All right, tactical Nurse Joy.
Tactical Nurse Joy and tactical Chansey currently have Billy sitting on one of the concrete bleachers, and they are looking him over, and in particular, they're looking at his throat. The prognosis is that you're gonna have trouble talking. For maybe a day or two, but you should be fine. You were already you were already finding that you're able to form words. It's just kind of raspy.
Literally, the only thing I can think about now is a procedural TV show like Rizzoli and Isles, but with forensic specialist Joy and special agent Jenny.
Yeah. I not only would watch it, I would ship it. So let's move on before I start writing fanfiction.
100%.
Chat, get on it.
I think Estelle just walks up to Billy and gives him a giant hug, and it's just like, I'm so glad that you're all right, dear. And I'm so proud. You won.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you still tender.
We should probably get out of here, but also Estelle should help release the rest of the Pokemon.
Yes, and I imagine what has also happened is that actually even before the Jennies rushed in, while this was a big event. A lot of people were watching, including most of the grunts. Mm-hmm. Most of the actual grunts were watching this match. It's not every day you get to see your boss face the gym
Yeah,
leader.
Justin,
had
fucking
fun.
And
grip
because
it,
of
grip
that,
it, baby.
Ooh, thank you for the
Slow that down,
donation.
dude. Shit,
Thank
yeah,
you
dude.
for the
Crack one for
donation.
the big boy.
Thanks for the donation, Special Agent Jenny, Forensic Specialist Joy OTP.
Yes.
Incredible.
and because of this, there really wasn't anybody watching the Pokemon pens. And while the match was going on, the various people whom you have worked with to underground railroad these Pokemon out of here were actually already in there, helping to bust them out.
That's kind of what I pictured. Was everybody was like,
jailbreaking these Pokemon while the match was going on.
we paid to get in to watch the match, and then
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. No, I was just like, what? Like, cool. I am going to destroy you. You're trying to hurt my soft boys. I'm going to destroy you. Like, literally the only reason I let her
soft.
You're all my tiny soft boys.
I'm not. I'm not tiny. I'm not soft.
You're all my tiny soft boys. But yeah, like, literally the only reason Estelle let him walk by, or let Julianne walk by, is because Julian let her go. So yeah.
I'm just grabbing as many balls as I can find.
Phrasing. We're not doing phrasing anymore.
Have we ever done phrasing in this game?
I mean, we have an actual, yeah, that.
Who says we're not doing phrasing anymore?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yes, there, as she said, there were a couple of them in the safe, and then you were able to find in the storeroom there is a nondescript crate labeled 237 that has a pallet of champion balls in it.
All right. Well, assuming nobody stops me, then we are going to.
Oh no! It is it is total chaos right now.
Okay, cool.
There are other crates. Go loot the thing. No, I'm kidding. It's not our style. We're in a wholesome game. We don't loot the bodies in this specific game.
Unless Julian sees anything that jumps out at him, I think what he is going to do is he's going to pull out his own champion ball, and he is going to call out the only Pokemon he has that is sizable enough to maybe help him carry this pallet, which is Frazzetti.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, sure enough, yeah, Frazzetti comes out, looks around. Frazzetti. And he pointed the crate, and his fuzzy tufted, almost kind of like parka of fur, lifts it up.
Thanks, bud. Julian it looks at him as a little warily as he starts carrying it, because he, what this used to be. But the longer it is normal and pleasant, he starts walking alongside it as they move through the base to get back to the others, and he's sort of out of nowhere, he's like, if you're going to be around for a while, maybe what do you think about the name Franz?
Franz?
Okay, well, that's weird, but
I didn't know Pokemon did that.
Yep. Guess you're not really like other Pokemon, so who knows what other surprises you got in store.
Frazzetti.
Cool. And when we get back to Billy and Estelle, he's gonna say, all right, I think that's all of them.
How are you? Are you all right?
Fine. I'm fine. Why would I not be?
Yes, I can see how coming back here wouldn't be bothersome at all.
Just came back here to get these, and we got them. So mission accomplished.
And you didn't even have to. You didn't even have to do a terrorism about it.
Still did a terrorism. Not even a full terrorism, just a weird taxism.
I think debatably you did a counter-terrorism.
I did an IRS on them. Because I was sitting there going, what's the way that you can get the mob? And I was like, oh, history has taught us this lesson, yet you go for the taxes. It's fine. Oh,
I mean, you did inflict terror intentionally to get a cause, but if it's at a single individual, I don't think it's an ism. I think it's just inflicting terror. Like, I think ism requires
I think there's
more than one victim.
I think I think there was, like, you know, the attack on the organization, and then the fiery punch from the darkness with an old lady going, if you touch my boys again, I will murder you.
Yeah, that was the terror, but yeah, since it was just to her, it's not an ism.
It was just to her. It's not multiple inflictions. Yeah, it's just the one. That's fine. I did a terror, not a terrorism.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we should get these to the professor.
Yes. Yes, that does seem to be. We should also probably have you had dinner? I haven't seen you boys since yesterday.
No, we were a little busy.
Hmm. Well, that's no excuse for forgetting to eat. Let's go home and we'll get something. The professor's probably there, provided they haven't tried to kidnap him again.
And as they're walking, Billy's holding up the log, and he leans into Julian. He's like, "Julian have 2 ends," and he's filling out the log for a gym victory. But this counts.
It counts. Do do.
He looks down and he says, "Yeah, 2 ends." And then he
undefeated.
And he.
When do we actually get to say that we're undefeated? Is it after like 10 victories? Is there like a limit?
You can start saying it immediately.
Immediately, like I've never
technically all you have to do is win once. Technically, you don't even have to win. If you've never been defeated, you're still undefeated.
That's true.
Excellent.
I have never played a game of professional tennis. So in a way, I am in fact undefeated in professional tennis.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that that way.
I've never fought an actual Pokemon battle, so I'm an undefeated Pokemon trainer.
It's true. We all are.
As we were walking towards Julian's truck, he will sort of awkwardly clap Billy on the back, kind of around the neck, and shake him a little bit. And he'll say, "I don't think anybody's going to be laughing at the Esper Bay gym anytime soon."
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thanks for the training.
I think that Julian sort of looks off into the middle distance a little bit, like he's about to say something, and then shuts his mouth and says, "All right, we're wasting daylight."
All right, and you get these back over to the gym where Professor Maple is working, and he is ecstatic to have so many balls. Who wouldn't be?
The man just loves balls.
The cup runneth over with balls. And
why am I 5?
I know. As soon as I introduced this plot point, really, we're talking about talking about Pokeball specifically a lot. I was like, you've done it now, Sherlock. You,
You did it. You did it.
yep.
No. Heather can't not giggle, so here we are.
I can barely keep it together, and I wrote the damn game. Balls.
Oh, between Julian almost having a feeling and talking about it, and just the constant ball talk, I can't. All right, continue. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be the name of the podcast if we ever record it and release it. Ball talk.
Ball talk.
Ball talk.
Oh, sorry.
Goodness.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
wow. And he begins getting to work on making the same adjustments to them that he made to the champion ball that he gave to Billy and Julian, with which they were able to capture one of the missing numbers. In the meantime, Estelle, you have been noticing Haunter acting strange lately.
Yes.
And Haunter is still sort of just kind of floating around, almost kind of antsy.
I think, can I do an empathy roll about this and see if maybe I can connect to Haunter and figure out what is bothering Haunter?
Sure.
Oh, that is a 3. It is unlikely that that is going to do anything.
Yeah, you attempted this a couple of times now to try and get a sense of what it is that is bugging Haunter, that what has Haunter so out of sorts. You can definitely tell that something is wrong, but you can't suss out what the problem is. And it's it's kind of one of those things where it's just a little bit outside of your wheelhouse. Like you are an Esper. You came up, marinating in the culture of psychic Pokemon. Ghost Pokemon aren't really your area of expertise. You might need somebody who does know Ghost Pokemon.
Ooh, do I have to talk to the dude from the tower? Ooh.
We got him on speed dial. We've already called him for consultation once.
Oh, gosh, that burns.
Kaz Grabbins. He helped us do a ritual one time.
Yeah, he helped us with like exorcism support, I think, or summoning something. I don't remember, but
I don't think it's
it was like
here
tech
for that
support.
one.
But for ghosts.
Okay. So the funny thing is you were going to do this ritual. You called him up for tech support for this ritual, and then in the middle of it, you decided no, fuck it, we're just going to physically drag this whole ass thing out of Silphco.
Because it got real spooky, and we wanted to leave.
You know what? I will, in fact, call Kaz and see if he wants to come over for tea to the gym.
The phone rings, and you and rings a couple times, and he picks up the phone. Kaz Grabbins Ghost Grabbin' Experience. What's up? Talk to me.
Kaz, dear, how are you? It's been so long.
Oh, hi. Hi. Miss East. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing very well.
My
today.
mom didn't come back, did she?
No, dear. No.
Oh.
I would let you know.
Oh, thank Arceus. Oh.
I actually had a question for you, and I thought maybe you'd like to come over to the gym, and I really would like your opinion on something. You're something of an expert in ghost Pokemon, and I'm afraid Haunter's been acting a little strange.
Oh, problem with your Haunter. Well, I tea with you guys at
yes,
the gym.
It doesn't have to be the gym, darling. If you're uncomfortable, or if you think that might create an issue for you at work, we could go down to the cafe as well.
No, it's fine. I don't usually do house calls. In this case, I can make an exception. Um, is, uh, is Julian gonna be there?
Oh, it's likely.
Mm.
Tell him I'm gonna make little sandwiches, and he's gonna love them.
Bags of soup and tiny sandwiches. Julian says he's going to make what are they called? The finger sandwiches? The tiny sandwiches with the
Julian's threatening to make sandwiches on my fingers. Yeah, that tracks.
No, dear. The oh gosh, with the cucumbers, right? Julian, is that the one?
Oh, yeah, cucumbers would be good too.
Stella's just like, no, we're not threatening you this time. It's fine. A refusal to do house calls in the ghost expert business seems like a not great business model. Thank you, chat.
World,
Thank you for pointing that out.
Right.
It does seem like a shady business model. Like, what are you doing? If your people's houses are haunted, how could you not go to the house if you are a ghost Pokemon person?
Really only deal with ghosts that travel.
Yeah, can't you bring the ghost here? No, if I could, I wouldn't need you.
Can you ask it to leave and just come see me, and then I'll talk to it?
That's actually why he started doing the graveyard tours, because he didn't want to keep doing house calls. So he's like, I'll just do graveyard tours, and then the ghosts will just be in the one place. I will have a work that goes to a set place. I don't have to commute everywhere.
I guess in his defense, none of the ghosts we have seen in this game so far have been in houses. They were in the graveyard. They were in the derelict Pokemon Center.
Well, it's true. Abandoned buildings mostly. I wouldn't want to go to abandoned buildings all the time for my work.
It's possible he also just may have been trying to make up an excuse not to be in the same room as Julian.
I mean, I did offer as the other location Julian's work. So.
He's going to eat these sandwiches.
He's going to eat these sandwiches that I make out of his fingers. Know what?
No, yeah, I'd love to. I'll here I just got finished up my last exorcism of the afternoon, so yeah, no, I can come over whenever.
All right, dear, whenever you're ready.
And eventually you wait a while. Well, actually, here, is there anything you want to talk about before Kaz gets here? Before I time skip to Kaz getting here.
What type of sandwiches do you make, Julian?
Oh, there was. Oh,
what a lovely day.
Thanks so much for the raid.
Yeah, thanks so much for
the
raid,
guys. How's it going?
Lovely to see you, as always.
Tales from the Table Studios.
Tales from
defend the stream. We have to defend the stream.
We were raided.
Well, I mean.
Did the thing. So there was one thing Julian was going to do, I think.
Okay.
Other than turn sandwiches into fingers. Sorry,
yeah. I think before he gets started on making the tiny sandwiches, after Franz drops the crate of champion balls off for the professor to have, Julian's going to go into the little kitchen of the gym. And he's gonna pull out. I am 99% sure I still have this, but I think he's going to pull out Charlie Geller's ID.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's gonna hold it up to Frizzetti, and he's gonna say, "Look, I realize this is probably a long shot, and I don't even know why I'm trying this, except I don't know what you can do. I don't know if you remember anything about before you were fixed, but someone went missing. And I don't remember him, but apparently he was my best friend.
That's in the fiction.
You gotta let the fans wonder.
I'm the fan fiction, right?
He holds it out, holds out the picture, the badge to Rossetti and says, anything?
Rossetti kind of looks quizzically at it, looks like stares really, really intently at it. Like so intently you're almost afraid he's gonna pop a vein. And finally stops and he just kind of shrugs. Rossetti.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Okay.
Rossetti.
You did good today. Welcome to the team. Why don't you take a break and he'll call Franz back to the champion ball. And then he will start assembling finger sandwiches for tea. Painstakingly.
Oh, it's just like Mr. Mime glowering in one corner and Julian glowering in the other guy. Okay. Yeah, I think so. What are the after effects uh of that battle? Do we have like a lot more requests for gym battles? Is there anything that like is a fallout from everyone kind of seeing Billy fight?
So at this point, it hasn't really been long enough for there to be like serious fallout. That you imagine there probably will be.
No one walked across the street and was like, "I need to get on your docket to fight this guy."
Right,
That
yes.
was
Like,
amazing.
yeah. Yeah, word is still getting out about what happened, about the fact that it even went down in the first place. Like, and even still, like, even like just you've been able to hear, because you've gotten a couple of phone calls about it because you're connected. uh the rumor mill is already starting. Like, it is like there was a rumor going around that Billy kicked in the doors and like led the Jennies in, and the Billy like shouted out, "This is a raid."
Yes.
I love this only because I'm also picturing Billy in an Officer Jenny uniform while doing
Yes,
it
exactly.
with the
Yeah.
same
Glad I'm
like
not the
crop
only one who was
shorts,
picturing
crop
that.
top,
Thank you.
little hat.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. This is
Yep.
this is the latest version of the rumor that is telephoned around.
I am pleased that I was not the only person with that mental image. Um, awesome. Okay, then yeah, between that and the fact that Billy like caught two criminals, I feel like Billy's reputation in town is like skyrocketing because like, yeah, he did a raid on the Team Rocket place, turns out, and then these two guys tried to attack the gym and he like chased them down in their car and ran them off the road and then like threw them in a sow with the Officer Jennies are like, oh man, Billy, you're awesome. Like, yeah,
No, yeah, no,
I feel
he literally ran down the street after the van, and then he like dove through the window, and there was like shattered glass, and it was like totally badass.
it still has nothing to do with these rumors at all,
Yeah.
just so you all know. She did not start them, like, she didn't provide cookies to people that would repeat them. This is just totally organic. So yeah, I think Gastel goes and does the tea, which sounds very much like it is becoming the most passive aggressive I will out fancy you tea ever. Please be afraid to eat anything.
And yes, eventually Kaz arrives, peacoat, top hat, and all, with his lampant floating outside of his Pokeball. Seems like the lampant is always following him.
That's nice.
And he looks around. It's like, oh, this place is really coming along. Hey, if you run into any ghost infest. You go like I don't know. I do the full service like ectoplasmic molds. Um, bad vibe infestations. Like hey, give me a call. Guys, grab an experience. You know the number.
All right. Well, I wanted to talk to you about Haunter. He's been acting a little odd, and she like offers him sandwiches while like Julian's clearing.
Oh, Julian, I think, comes out of the kitchen at that point, like apron on, carrying one of those like tiered silver things that has like sandwiches on one level and it's got tiny little pastries on another, some scones, and like there's a little tureen of like clotted cream and another one of jelly, and he's carrying them very delicately, and as he comes out and goes to set them down on the table, he sees Kaz standing there and he just sort of nods at him and says, "What's up, loser?"
Oh, when did you have time to bake? Cranberry orange scones, my favorite.
Hey, yeah, not much. Dickhead, I got nothing. So how many of these sandwiches did you hide razor blades in?
Find out.
Julian would never tamper with food, dear. He'd just kill you in your sleep. There are some things that are sacred. Watercress sandwich?
Oh, so okay, no, sorry. For a second there, I was worried. Sorry, yeah, no, I never sleep. So presumably I'll live forever in that case. Believe it or not, Lampent here started out as my nightlight when I was a kid.
Oh, that's charming. And she offers like a treat to like from another tiered thing for Lampent. Is there a second one, or is it just all the same stuff but like made with Pokemon stuff? All
From the tray?
all the basics, yes. Is there like a Pokemon tiered thing you brought out too, or is it just okay?
Yeah, it's half and half.
All right, cool.
I imagine since we've gotten back, by the way, Billy's like emotionally and physically exhausted from this whole experience and literally like passed straight out. And I imagine at the smell of food, it is very much like sleepwalking, wavy line eyes, just like stumbling up, loading a plate, and then just going back to lay down.
Yeah,
like shoveling food in like sleepwalk mode.
Yep. We're just like all just watching frozen as you walk through, and it's like Billy just won a bout against the head of the games corner.
Oh,
that was this morning.
Okay, like the game corner or like the game corner?
Oh, the game corner, dear. Yes, it was right before they raided and destroyed the place. It was great.
Oh, like
She's
okay, like the game corner. Okay, all right, all right. Wow.
And I think as Kaz looks over at Billy, because the last time he was here, there was a tiny little Skidoo, and a tiny little Shirelts, and over there is like now a Glade like flexing its like bladed arms, and like a giant Go-Goat playing around with Ling Ling, all out and standing near Billy, like power napping in the corner with this plate of food.
Your boy's been eating his Poke Wheaties, I see. Also, incidentally, somnambulism like that, classic sign of possession. Again, yet another thing you can call me about anytime. Honestly, don't worry about it.
Ambulism?
Somnambulism. Sleepwalking.
Oh, no. Billy's just a little tired, I think. He got hit during the fight. The game corner. And like, Skull?
Never been down there myself, but yeah, no, I heard things get pretty rough down there.
Yes. I've only really gone to, well, I wouldn't call it stealing their Pokemon. Rescuing is a good word, don't you think? Like, she's just like, Lemon Wedge?
Oh, don't mind if I do.
So I think Estelle is going to both like just alarm him as much as possible, and then also like be very genial and hostessy, which is a nice razor blade to walk. And then she's gonna start asking him about or telling him about Haunter's
Mhm.
weirdness. Julie, did you want to do anything?
Oh no, Julian, as Kaz starts to eat, Julian is gonna like watch him take the first bite to just guarantee that he is actually going to eat it. And then it's gonna say, that's just the first course, bitch. And then they're gonna go back into the kitchen.
When Estelle leans over to refill his tea cup, she goes, "You should really compliment the food at some point." Not for me, you understand, but Julian, uh, yes, just like. And then he made them all pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it's better than soup in a bag, so whatever Julian will grace us with, we will take.
You didn't even try the soup in a bag. You don't know.
I didn't mean to. It was chunky soup in a bag. It was weird. All right, Capri Sun soups are not a thing I am willing to invest in, but thank you for coming on this investor show. What is wrong with my Pokemon?
Well, do you mind if CZ around? Mind if I talk to him?
Oh, sure. Haunter. And she just like beckons him from the shadows. Or them. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, Hunter kind of floats over, and Kaz sort of waves, and Hunter actually waves back pretty jovially.
He smells like ghost. Yeah.
Mm. Well, let's see. You were talking about, and he gets out like a little sylph scope and looks through it as well. Um, hmm. Well, let's see. And he digs into his satchel bag, pulls out a copy of the Pokenomicon and starts flipping through it.
That's brilliant. The Pokenomicon. I'm gonna make you that for Christmas.
Mhm.
Um
It seems, I would guess, I would guess that there is, and this is going to sound like, thank you, Captain Obvious, but hear me out. I think that Haunter is trying to tell you something. The problem is that he's trying to communicate something bigger than what the normal avenues of human Pokemon communication really allow for. We don't talk a lot about the inner lives of our Pokemon. Um, they're very deep, very complex. Um, Honestly, Ghost Pokemon maybe the most of all. Ghost Pokemon linger in a way that other Pokemon don't. They're unique that way. They are fixed points in time. I mean that is that is a ghost story in essence. It's something from the past intruding onto the present. They're living reminders of something that used to exist. And that being a fixed point, gives them perspective, gives them an insight and a complexity that I think a lot of us don't really appreciate. That said, they tend to communicate with most of us the same way that most Pokemon do. And while there is a great deal of nuance to be had in the various ways you can pronounce a Pokemon's name, uh, there are limits. I know you come from, you know, a psychic type dynasty. Um, I'm assuming you've attempted to make some kind of telepathic contact with Haunter.
I have, but I haven't really had any success recently. Now tell me about this possession. Is that something I could just invite Haunter to do? I
You
imagine that
know,
would be a much closer communication style.
there is something like that that we could try. I was There's a way that we could have potentially have Haunter show us rather than tell us what it is that he's
Swear to
trying to
God, Brendan,
say.
if you pull out a Ouija board.
Don't spoil things. Don't
Damn
jump
it.
the stream. We're
I knew it.
getting there.
I knew
We're,
it. All right.
we're getting there.
How dare.
What I would like to propose is a seance.
Sorry, this is not Estelle laughing. This is me. Hmm. A seance.
Yes, a seance.
With the candles and the crystal ball? Or?
Yes, candles, crystal ball. I would. I'm debating. I might do a talking board, though. I think, like I was saying, it's something complex. Trying to communicate. I think a talking board probably would be much too slow. So yeah, I'm gonna go the crystal ball route. Probably. I'm feeling crystal balls. I'm feeling my balls today. Yeah.
Please tell me Julian walks in on this conversation.
I think he starts to, like, you see the door open and then it just closes again.
Closes again.
He, like walks, does the walk in, hears the start of the conversation, walks back out. And how many people would we need to accomplish this?
Well, sorry. I think so. You think. Well, need to get sight and sound. It would need a tetragram minimum. So I'd go with 4.
Hmm. And Haunter, does that sound like something you want to do? Would that make it easier for you?
Haunter.
All right, dear. Because I'm assuming she understands what that means. He's like, yeah, sure, we'll give it a shot. Like,
From the kitchen, you just hear Julian yell out, I'm not touching his ball.
Well, when would you be free to do this?
Honestly, I could do it right now. Like I said, hey, I just finished my last exorcism of the day. I got here, honestly, and he just goes and he starts like getting out from his satchel bag like a drape for the table. He has a crystal. He has a crystal
Brought it
Pokeball.
with me. It's fine.
He has a crystal Pokeball. He's got a bunch of black candles.
Brendan, do I sense that you're tired of me failing this role? You need me to know this information.
Actually, no.
Yeah,
This no, because like like I said, the thing that he's trying to communicate is more complex than you would really be able to get with you could get hints of it
Okay,
uh
that's right.
with your psychic ability roll, but this is leading into something else.
Well, why don't we give Billy about an hour to nap? I mean, he's quite tuckered out, and
Oh no, that
you go ahead and get set up, and I'll talk to Julian.
that's fine. I need to check the feng shui of this whole place anyway
Hmm.
before I get started. Got to find the optimal place. Honestly, way better than most of the places that I have to do this. Like psychic type gyms. Like I gotta say, like you and your husband, like you guys built this place just excellent. So I'm kind of spoiled for choice as far as that goes, but I got to find the right spot.
All right. And she just like walks into the. She's like, well, I would have much rather the possession route, but I think we're going to do a. I think Julian, we're going to be doing a séance, and I'll try to make sure you don't have to touch any balls.
Julian will like look up at Estelle from where he is, I think, sifting a layer of powdered sugar onto like a very delicate pink rose cake, and just shakes his head and says, "Do we have to?"
I mean, it's for Haunter. It's not for him. And if he's right, and Haunter is from some fixed point in time, and what he has to tell us has to do with any of this, then really, we should probably know now before we start back in. The professor's working on the Pokeballs, and Billy's recovering, and I hope he'll be conscious enough to help us. But you know, it before things get busy again, we might want to figure out if there's something there.
Yeah. I just want to point out, and Julian might wait to say this until we're all sitting around the table about to start the exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
But Julian will say, as he passes around a little plate that has some cookies on it, some jammy cookies, jammy Dodgers.
Nice. Some nice tea stuff.
See now I want cookies. God damn it.
Jammy Dodgers
me too. Me too. As he passes it around, he says, "I just want to point out the dynamics at play here. He's here," and he points accusatorily, aggressively at Kaz, because none of us can understand what Haunter is trying to say, which means that whatever he tells us Haunter's trying to say, we can't verify.
Oh, whoa, no. Well, what do you? Oh, well, no, okay. I'm sorry. I think you got the wrong idea. But what do you think I was like? You think that I was like one of those hucksters down at the boardwalk? No. That is not what we offer at Cash Grabbin's Ghost Grabbin' Experience. We
Don't
offer
say that again.
We offer the full package.
What was the name of the company, Brad?
Cash Grabbin's Ghost Grabbin' Experience.
One more time. I'm sorry. Kaz Grabbin's
Ghost Grabbin' Experience.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Julian's like, say it in my gym one more time.
No, so that's why I have the ball here. You don't need me to be an interlocutor. I set up the seance, and then Haunter shows us directly what he's trying to say.
Great.
If nothing else, if you don't trust me, you trust Haunter, right? I don't get me wrong, Haunter. You seem like a great haunter. Honestly, 5 stars would be haunted again. But we're not friends, so pretty sure Haunter's gonna have no qualms about telling you if I'm full of poke shit.
I think Billy, who is now awake at this point, since we're about to start the seance, kind of
Shoving
looks
time
at Julian. It's like, I mean, this is like only the like 8th craziest thing we've had to do in the last 3 to 5 days.
I
We
know
might
we're
as well
not
give it a
breaking into
shot.
anything. There's hardly any crime happening
except
here.
the astral plane.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about the astral plane. Well, we are doing some breaking and entering, but it's as far as I know, there aren't any laws against this one, so we might as well.
Except
I mean,
the laws of nature.
Of nature.
as long as that thing doesn't start to like bleed, I'd still prefer this to some of the other experiences lately.
True.
I cannot promise, and it is in the waiver, I cannot promise that there will be a total absence of ectoplasmic leakage, but that only occurs in a small percentage of participants a certain percentage of the time.
It sounds like I'm gonna need more than bleach to get this off of the Pokemon gym after this. All right. Well, if you don't want to be involved, Julian, I don't want to force you. I just want to find out what's wrong with Haunter and what he's trying to tell us, because he does seem quite upset.
I mean, I'm already here. And I'm still holding out hope that what Haunter's trying to tell us is something like Kaz sucks.
I feel like that wouldn't be quite too complex for Haunter. I mean, he did paint that on the side of the gym at one time, so I feel like he could probably do that one on his own again.
What you painted, Haunter? You painted Kaz sucks on the side of the gym.
Oh, Haunter does that every
Ah.
time someone loses.
I-
It's unfortunate, but we figured out what he's using, and I have a great paint removal system now.
Yeah, was that? I don't remember. Was that after I beat him or his mom?
It was well. So first he wrote it when Kaz was beaten, and then he wrote about Karen, and then right below Karen it said and also Kaz. So,
Right.
which I feel is
It's all
rather
coming back to me now.
Yeah, it's
4.5 stars, but would still be haunted again, honestly.
We had a talk about respectful winning, but it just doesn't seem to be taken.
Haunter is not a graceful winner. I believe it's because he's not allowed to be in the Pokemon battles for the gym because he's not a psychic Pokemon, and I think there might be some resentment there about that. He's trying to be supportive, and it just sort of comes out as, defamation.
Whomst amongst us? Haunter takes Haunter subscribes to the soccer hooligan school of support.
You suck. Just
All right,
with Haunter.
if we're gonna do this, we should do it now. I got a quiche in the oven.
Kaz positions one of the tables. He very carefully determines which direction is north, so he can position the corners of the table along the compass meridians. He then takes a piece of chalk, draws very carefully, then a chalk square around the table, and then positions the chairs over the 4 corners of those of the square. He drapes his cloth over the table and sets his crystal Pokeball down in the center of it. And he sits down in the western facing position and invites you all to take the other 3 seats.
Still takes the east position.
Yeah, I was
Just
supposed to say.
cause.
I guess for no other real reason, Julian will take west.
He's already sitting in west.
I thought he was north.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
Julian's
west.
like, that's
No.
my seat.
You're in
Yeah,
your seat- you're
I
in my
like that
seat.
because I thought that's exactly what happened.
You're in my seat, bruh.
That's my seat.
I'm west.
So unfortunately, the westernmost seat is symbolically important for the completion of the tetragram, and needs to be occupied by somebody who has spirit medium potential.
Every seance I've ever been to, I've been west.
So
Okay. Sure.
Look,
Billy,
man,
you want north or south?
if you hate this, you're really gonna hate it when we have to hold hands.
you position yourself between me and Billy, so you have to hold Kansas hand.
No, that's the thing.
Turns.
You can't because you took opposite sides. He has
'cause you
to
took
sit
east.
somewhere. I already thought about that
Well.
part of it.
Billy, you want north or south?
I'll take the south, I guess.
Julian will sit down north, but won't be happy about it.
That iron grip on Cass's hand, like I'm gonna break bones. You're in
All
my
right.
spot.
So, like I said, this is the part where we all hold hands. And now we clear our minds and see if I can help Haunter do his thing.
Right as it starts to get quiet, there's just we're all starting to settle, and then you just hear like a loud ringing in the corner. And Billy's
Actually, conveniently enough, I was going to say, normally these things are inaugurated by the ringing of a bell, because we don't have a bell. But then actually, I kind of like the idea that Ling Ling has actually just appeared in position, hanging near the table, and uncharacteristically respectfully, and just makes a single tinny chime. And all around you, for a moment, a long, sweaty palmed moment, you're wondering when whatever is supposed to happen is gonna happen. You swear that you have been sitting here hours, and you would swear that because it's getting so dark in the room, like the sun is going down. Then it occurs to you that no, the sun isn't going down, it is just inexplicably getting darker. And it's like the form of Haunter kind of hovering over you is sort of spreading, stretching out to form this tenebrous dome, sealing you in, slowly shutting out the orange evening light until you are surrounded by darkness. There's the faintest light emanating from the black candles lit at the meridians between you, reflected in the crystal Pokeball in the center. And as your eyesight is drawn towards it, that is when you see Haunter's hands, disembodied as they are, sort of descend to either side of the crystal Pokeball. And as you look into it, you would swear that the flickering light is making shapes, strange shadow play. It becomes more and more vivid the longer that you stare at it, to the point that even though the shapes are strange and crude, and you could almost convince yourself you're not really seeing them at all, you don't know why else you would conjure such a vivid narrative to describe them otherwise. You all seem to be imagining the same thing. There is a dock a long time ago. It's far away on a distant island. Alola, maybe, you think. There's a lot of activity, a lot of people moving, a lot of people in military uniforms. There's a man on the dock. He looks lost, bewildered. He doesn't look like he knows where he should go. He is dragging a heavy suitcase and is wearing a weather-beaten lab coat, trying desperately to get anybody's attention. When finally a voice calls out from behind him. Professor Esper, I presume. And he turns and kind of tries to make himself look less disheveled and turns to face a young woman. Very young, not much more than a teenager, but whose eyes are hardened and aged well beyond their years. In a crisp military uniform. You're Professor Baker, right? Yes, I am. Are you who I'm here to see? And she replies, Professor Esper, nice to meet you. I'm Lieutenant Absol, and I sincerely hope that you're the person we need. And that is where we're going to end it for this session.
Hey. All right.
Professor Roo.
Listen, everybody else gets a professor. It's only fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be pretty fun if we found out what happened to your parents. Not saying, I'm just saying.
We'll see.
Then it would make it pretty fun that I banished your sister and was just like, don't come back.
Find out next time when we do something kind of wild, kind of different.
Not that we don't do that all the time.
I know, what am I talking about? At this point,
the stream.
At this point, half of this game is just me being like, man, what weird idea haven't I tried yet? Is that something? Does that work? Does that scan? I guess we'll find out.
We've had Capri Sun soups. We've had punching old men. We've had
bleeding computers.
Yep. We've had tax raids. Bleeding computers. It's all great. It's fine.
And
Now,
that's just the last two sections.
seances.
Right?
Yeah, now seances. Come back next time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. If you watched, if you donated, if you chatted, followed us, subscribed, whatever, we do just want you to know that it means the world to us. Everything that we do here on the channel benefits a really great cause, and we would not be able to make that happen without you. So genuinely, thank you all so much. We will be back. Do you have a Wildcard Wednesday tomorrow? Is that right?
We
last
do
one.
not.
Okay,
Oh,
not tomorrow.
Next week. Last.
All right, cool. So in that case, it's what? What is
There's-
next Sunday? Is that
It
Veilbreakers?
would be Veilbreakers, but they're actually not doing that either because one of the players is going to be in Ireland. So
all right.
next stream will be the premiere of Class Reunion Winter Break on
fun.
Tuesday, 1 week from today.
Very
Nice.
excellent. If you would like to know when we are going live and what we are up to, you can follow us on Twitter at Live from the APOC. Should be right up there on screen, the icon of the Cursed Bird app. Or you can join our Discord community, which is full of a lot of awesome and friendly people, and it's generally just kind of a great place. We do community nights in there as well, where we play games together off stream and also watch bad movies. Last night it was Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and what was the other one?
Oh gosh, the one with the werewolves. I should know.
Werewolves Rising.
Werewolves Rising.
Okay.
Werewolves
yeah.
Within.
Werewolves Within. Yeah,
I see. Gotcha.
It was goofy. Fun,
honestly, it's a
fun.
fun time, just really great group of people overall. So yeah, if you would like to get to know us better, we would love to have you. And I think, at long last, somebody stop me. It is enough talking from me.
Thank you to everybody who donated.
Yes, thank you all so much again.
And who saved us last time.
No.
Yeah,
From our own
Billy
bad
could
rolls.
not have won that battle without the chat. So thank you all.
Yeah, you
100%.
guys did make it epic.
Mr. Mime got to punch his abuser in the face, so like, we owe you. Thanks.
We're going to be
A lot of
disappearing
catharsis.
in just a second, but don't go away because we're probably going to be raiding one of the many other great TTRPG creators here on Twitch. So please be friendly, say hi, and tell them that Live from the Apocalypse sent you.
We sure are. We are going to hop over and say hello to Charisma Saving Show, our friends. They are streaming for the first time. They're back from a break. They've been gone for a minute, and we're going to hop over there and say hi and welcome back and all that good stuff. There are two different messages in chat. You can feel free to copy paste our raid messages. If you're subscribed, feel free to copy paste the first one. If not, grab those little raccoons in the second one and send those on over. But on that note, we're going to call it a night and hop on over and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Have fun. Why did I say have fun? Bye.